Welcome, football fans. Once again, you have reached Pay Dirt. I'm your host, Brandon Herriott, a.k.a. B Dirt, with your host, Pay Saunders. How's it going, Pay?
Man, how can you not love this time of year? Money time, right? How's it going, B?
The holidays, good food, good friends, good family, and good football. Doesn't get much better than this. As we're recording, I do want to touch on your UNC Tar Heels are playing in the Duke Mayo Bowl. Quarterback making his first start. So West Virginia is the favorite in this game, and as we speak, they're up 7-3. But man, does a part of me want a big tub of mayonnaise to get dumped on Mac Brown. I think that would be epic TV.
Classic Mayo Bowl.
I mean, how do you feel drowning a 70-year-old man in mayonnaise? Can't feel great.
No. But what you do is you make peace with it for the comedy, for the content.
Okay. For the content, heard. So
that's it.
15 straight winning weeks, and we're on a 2-game skid. We sound like the Philadelphia Eagles. It took them 3 weeks to get right. We don't have that kind of time, Pay. We got to do it this week.
Yeah, got to.
We went 4-5 last week. Not the end all be all, but Kansas City tripped you up on the money line to put us. That would have put us over the edge there at 5-4. Who'd have thunk it?
I knew. See, this is why I didn't want to go with those lines. There were big favorites, 3 of them: Buffalo, Philly, and Kansas City. I knew one of them was going to play close, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. Do not trust Kansas City on as a big favorite, and they look what they did. Aiden O'Connell didn't complete a pass for positive yards in 3/4 of that game. His last pass for positive yards happened in the first quarter, and they won by a touchdown.
That's an incredible stat.
It's crazy.
And
what's up with Kansas City?
Once again, we're 500 if we don't pick against each other. The Lions and the Vikings. I knew that game was in the bag the whole time. I was not sweating when they intercepted that pass on the 4-yard line at all. I knew I had that one, Pay. They kept turning the ball over, and the Lions still kept giving them ways to possibly win. I did not know what was going on.
Yeah. Boo.
Let's start where we normally start, man. Thursday night football. We got the New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns are favored by 7.5 in this one. Over under 35. How you see this one going?
Let me tell you, man. 7.5 favorite for Cleveland. I know everybody's loving what Flacco's doing right now, but Flacco, and there's no disrespect to Flacco, he's been very lucky. A lot of his big plays, wide open, busted coverage, missed tackles, things like that. The Jets don't do that. The Jets don't have busted coverages. The Jets don't miss tackles. The Jets, nothing else. They can keep you off that scoreboard. 7.5-point dogs? No, I don't like that at all. I'm taking the Jets. I'm taking the Jets to cover that. That sounds like easy money to me.
I'll tell you, if anybody out there is willing to take the bet, I'm willing to bet that Sauce Gardner can't hold Amari Cooper under 2 bills. That's where I'm at. I don't think he gets I don't think he's hanging 200 plus on Sauce. That's just the way I see it. Yeah, listen, I watched the whole Browns Bears game, which I'm sure you took a glance at. Bears are up, and it come from behind drive, right? The first touchdown of that comeback, Flacco threw 3 picks on that one possession, and the Bears dropped all 3. One of them, the ball went through a middle linebacker. It looked like I thought maybe a guy had a hole in his chest or something. I don't even know how he missed it. It was bizarro world, and it ends up in a touchdown for Francis Ngannou. So no, not Francis Ngannou. Wait, what's his name?
Wow, Njoku.
Njoku. All right, it was close. Hey, by the way, both those guys made out of granite. But
true.
But it just one of those things. Like, I don't know. He's got, like you said, he's gotten lucky, man. I don't want to disrespect the guy. He's had a great long NFL career, Super Bowl MVP, that playoff run. I don't blame you for taking this one. Very tempting for me too. I have not yet got on it, but I do like the Jets plus 7.5. You like the over/under in that at all?
Now
35?
That's the part that I was staying away. 35. Ooh, that is almost criminally low. Even for those two teams who, I think the Jets are on their third quarterback. I don't know if Zach Wilson's playing. I know the Browns are on their fourth. Both offense. Well, Cleveland's offense has been pretty decent the last month and a half. The Jets offense, on the other hand, I don't know about 35.5. Both great defenses. It should. I'm making arguments for the under, but 35. Wow. I don't know. I'm gonna stay away from that too. I'm chicken. Sugar honey iced tea.
And I know it was against the Commanders last week, but the Jets put up 30. You know, they moved the ball a little bit with Trevor Siemian at the end of that game, especially.
Mm-hmm. Keep that little nugget about the Commanders, because we're gonna talk about that coming soon.
Okay. Hey, a lot of college football going on right now.
It's that time
and more. So I still have one hanging from my picks last week, and I'm sticking with it. I still think Notre Dame versus Oregon State. I think Notre Dame's depth is going to be able to carry them through. 6.5 point favorite. I think they win by more than a touchdown. One of the things I'm seeing right now, though, in college football, crazy times, right? So over the past, 5 to 8 years, we started dealing with a lot of these guys going into the draft sitting out. That became a new thing, right? Now, since then, it's guys entering the portal, but now it's guys entering the portal. Some of them play. Duke had quite a few of them play. I was interested in betting Troy against Duke, and then all of a sudden I do my research, and I'm like, all these guys that are in the portal are playing for this team.
Mm-hmm.
Blew my mind.
Yes.
Then you have Kyle McCord standing on the Syracuse sideline getting a taste of what his life's going to look like in that blowout. I don't know. It's really hard. You got to really do your homework and know who's going to play and who's not going to play if you're going to dive into these college games. That said, anything you see out there you like?
I just learned that out this week myself. I didn't know that you can still play for the team you're leaving while you're in the portal. And my question for this game, OSU versus Temple or whoever the hell they're playing. OSU is a 3-point favorite on Friday, and they're playing Missouri. I don't know who the quarterback is. I have no idea if McCord's playing. And if he was playing, that doesn't make me more confident for the Buckeyes. I'll tell you that. That to me is more of a stay away. I need more information. As we record this on a Wednesday, I don't know, bro.
So I know that a lot of there were quite a few Ohio State players that did hit the portal, but there weren't big players. Emeka Egbuka is supposed to play. I got their quarterback is going to be Devin Brown, who I know a lot of people were clamoring for going into this. I believe he's going to get the start from what I'm hearing. I think that's what Big G said, actually. But you have right now Travion Henderson looks like he's coming back. My big question is Marvin Harrison Jr. Is he going to play in this game? Right now, I've got OSU as a -3, and I'm taking them. unless I hear different about Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't think Mizzou can cover them. I watched the LSU game. LSU-Mizzou game was a shootout. And I think that Ohio State has a much more sound defense than them. It looks like that most of their guys are playing on D. So I think Ohio State's going to play. I think they've got something to prove coming out of that Michigan game. I think, there was a lot going on and a lot of Ryan Day hatred and all this other stuff. And it seems to have galvanized this team, especially if all those guys that could be leaving for the league are indeed coming back, which is what it looks like now. I'm going to take OSU unless I'm gonna asterisk Marvin Harrison's out. If we learn that news, I'm probably going to stay away from it too.
Yeah, I'm staying away. Too many variables. I don't like variables. I like straight shooters. I like easy money, so I can get that pay dirt.
Yeah, college is a tough one right now, man.
Yeah.
It's with this transfer portal and everything else going on. I mean, there's some big games that I think we need to at least, obviously, talk about. Michigan is an avoid game for me.
Whoa! You're putting the horse in front of the carriage. Well, you're putting the carriage in front of the horse there, B Dirt, aren't you? You skipped some good Saturday games.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. I'm just telling you an avoid game. I'm not talking about what I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna avoid Michigan Bama because I don't know who I'm getting with Bama. Am I getting the team that played Auburn? Because I'm pretty confident the team that played Auburn is going to get beat. If I get the team that played Georgia, not so confident about that. That team looked good. So I don't know who I'm getting. So therefore, I'm staying away from it. And those are back-to-back weeks. They look that different.
You said it. It sounds like you think Michigan could beat them.
I do. They're favored by 1.5.
Yeah, I mean. So why are you staying away? I mean, I would just say, why not just take Michigan?
The team, if Alabama plays like they did against Georgia, I think Alabama can win. I think Alabama wins that game.
Okay. Jekyll and Hyde. Okay.
Jekyll and Hyde. And I'm not willing to ride my money on that.
All right. That's fair. But are you willing to ride your money on the Citrus Bowl? The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Tennessee, Iowa.
What's citrusy about that? That's under the discuss topics as well, because I've rode this under all year long. Is this when it turns into a pumpkin? Is the carriage a pumpkin at 35.5? Over under in the Iowa Hawkeyes game.
So Tennessee's can score. They've shown it all season. They can score, but when they did play an actual real live defense, and that's what I think Iowa is, they do carry a real live defense. When Tennessee did see one in the SEC, UGA, they only put up one touchdown. They put up 7 points total.
By the way, probably enough to still win this game.
Let me tell you, man, I'm a little shook as well on that 35.5. It's not a sure bet. With Tennessee, they've scored over 40, I think, 4 times this season. You would have thought that total would have been a little higher. But I think defensively speaking, I think Iowa's defense is the best unit coming into this game. And with that said, you got to give them the respect that they deserve. 35.5. I think I want to put that under.
So I don't know if I want to bet it, but I know I'm going to, because I've never been able to say that I took one thing the whole year and it just came through.
Yep.
This could be pretty sweet. So I got to put one unit on it. I got to.
Let it ride.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, I also was very interested. I mean, the Georgia-Florida State game to me is an absolute mess. I'm avoiding that like the plague. Don't know who's playing, who's not in that. Very interested in this Ole Miss Penn State game, though. 10 versus 11. Penn State favored by 4.5. I mean, who's playing, who's not?
Well, James Franklin, he's got a pretty decent record in bowl games. He doesn't have a great record against big-time Big Ten opponents, but in bowl games, he's pretty automatic. So I think, regardless of who's playing, he's gonna get this team ready to go.
So but you like him?
I kind of do like that. I kind of do like Penn State in that one, the Nittys. As far as like with your overall question, as far as for Saturday football, you don't know who's out there. I think that one as sure as a bet, regardless of who's out there. I think that's the close. I'm not calling it a sure bet. I think that's the closest thing to a sure bet, just based on the track record that Franklin has.
Chop Robinson's not going to play, declared for the NFL. But if they can afford to lose one person from one position group, I think they have the most depth on their defensive line.
Mm-hmm. Now, go back to this Georgia-Florida State game.
Ugh.
I agree. It's a lot of variables going on Saturday. But I don't see how Florida State can beat them. Anyway, I don't see it. That spread is ridiculous. Georgia's an 18.5 point favorite. That's a little bit more ridiculous than Oregon being a 16 point favorite over Liberty. And both of those, I'm saying, you know what? What the hell? There's no way they can lose these games, regardless of who's playing or not. I'm going to take them both in a parlay. Money line.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't see Florida State beating Georgia. They're in a no-win situation there. I like it on a money line. I don't think it adds a lot to the bet, but I think it's pretty safe though.
Yeah. Now,
anything else in college jumping out at you?
I got to get my college football playoff takes. We haven't talked college football really in 3 weeks? Got to. Finally got some big stakes games. Bama, Michigan. I agree. Bama's a little heckle and jive. Bama's a little heckle and Jekyll and Hyde. Cottonmouth. But I do think neutral site, both teams got the same amount of rest. Both teams got the same amount of data on each other. Actually, Bama might have a little more data.
I have a little more.
I think I like Bama in this plus 1.5. Now, I'm going to make that a standalone bet. I'm not adding that to my little parlay that I'm putting together because that one can go either way. It's a coin flip. 1.5 obviously tells you that. Along with that, you got Texas versus Washington in the late game. This one is a little bit more difficult. This one's more difficult for me. I ran through the numbers. I'm going off of everything I've seen from Washington. Washington's been playing down the last 2 months. Penix, he looked like he was, falling over himself, breaking down. Texas has been amazing all season. Again, same amount of rest, same amount of data. Who's going to come out on top? I kind of think Texas is the stronger team. Whether that stays that way, we'll see.
I tell you, I really like Texas' defensive line. I think they're going to get after Penix. I don't think he's faced pressure like that this year. I'm leaning Texas on this one. I wish that was a 3-point line, so I might watch it a little bit. But yeah. Now, there's some interesting scenarios here too. Did you see they already got the lines if Texas plays Michigan? If Washington
Oh yeah, I did notice that.
Oh man, that's a wild game, huh?
Yeah, they got. If Texas and Alabama meet up for the national championship, they got Bama as a 2.5-point favorite. Wow, and the rematch.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty wild, huh?
The Hook'em Horn Nation is going to be upset about that. Longhorns are not going to be pleased with that one.
Especially if it's a neutral site game after they beat them at home. You know what I mean? They beat them in Tuscaloosa. Like, ugh. I don't know. DraftKings just must know how people are going to bet.
Yeah, that's how. That's got a little artificial intelligence. They playing with the numbers. That's the biggest spread on the what if national championship matchups. You got Michigan as a 6.5-point favorite if they were to play Washington. Also, shout out to Marvel. You like Marvel? I mean, you like you say you like Washington in that one?
I said I'd like to play Washington.
Yeah. I see. Also, shout out to Marvel for the What If series. Been strong this holiday season. Each episode. More streaming platforms should drop a new episode every day.
Yeah, don't get down on it. I hear you guys talking about it all the time, and I'm just over here like, okay.
Yeah. It's all right. When you all are making Star Trek references, I don't know what you're talking about either. So.
I don't know Star Trek either. Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel. I don't know any of it. All my French Bulldogs are named after Batman characters. Had no idea it was DC or Marvel or whatever when someone said it to me. Somebody was like, "Oh, you a DC guy?" And I was like, "Huh? I got nothing for you, man." And then someone had to like teach me and like explain the differences, and then whatever. I digress. Well, hey, before we get into the NFL, let's take a quick break and pay some of these bills. If you are listening to us on Spotify, Apple Pod, Google Pod, wherever you get your podcasts, take this moment while we go to a quick commercial break to subscribe, like, share us with some friends, give us those 5-star reviews. We appreciate you very much. If you are on YouTube, watch our man get a drink of water, and we'll be right back here in 1 second. All right, football fans, you are on Pay Dirt. My man Pay Saunders and me, your boy B Dirt. We gave you the college picks. We gave you the Thursday night football, as always. We are now going to give you some NFL insight. And here we go again. Saturday games. Not mad at it.
Yeah, man.
I got this as a discuss game. Saturday night, 8:15, Detroit Lions go to the Dallas Cowboys. Boy, a lot of ramifications for the playoffs on this one.
Lot.
So, Lions are 6-point dogs, over under 53. What's your take on this one, Pay?
I've got a lot of opinions on this line. Detroit hasn't looked the greatest when they've played similar caliber teams. However, 6-point dog, that's tough. Dallas hasn't looked the greatest in the last 2 weeks either. What does Vegas know that we don't? Something tells me that there's something up with that. I think this is going to be a track meet, though. It's inside at Jerry's World. You got the Detroit Lions. They are a fast offense. The Dallas Cowboys, they're a potent offense. CD Lamb and Dak, they can get it done. I'm obviously leading you down to that total. The total is 53. I like the over on that one. As far as the game itself, that can go either way. That's why I was like, I saw a 6 spread. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, now, and here's the thing. It's 60-40 right now, money on DraftKings. Dallas is favorite, but that's not a big enough spread where you're going to see this line move. If it does, it's not going to be much. Maybe a half point, but I don't think you're going to get the 7 on the Lions, so there's no use waiting it out.
Yeah.
I know who I'm going to be rooting for, but I ain't betting this.
I'm good. I'm confident on the total. I like the over. The rest, everything else is a toss up. If anything, I'll take the +6. That's because I don't think Detroit's going to get smacked around like that to the tune of close to a touchdown. But I'm not too confident in that. I am confident on the total. Over 53. I'm good with there.
That's a big over. But
it is.
It's in Jerry's world on that turf, and these guys can get up and down the field. So big plays could be aplenty.
And I need them. I need big plays from Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown this weekend. Not gonna tell you why. Just got some things riding on it.
I feel like you're just living out a fantasy.
Maybe.
All right, well, you alluded to this one earlier. 49ers at the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders are 13-point home dogs, over under 49.5.
The Commanders' defense is horrible. Horrible. They're back. What is it? Back 9? No, back 8. The linebackers, the secondary, they're all sieves. They're leaking. If it's not the two defensive tackles, everybody else can be replaced. That defense is horrible. San Francisco, they're licking their wounds. They have a track record of destroying bad defenses, like to the tune of 30+. I like that total. This is my second over of the football week. I like that total over 49.5. I like that.
Boy, the 49ers ended that game against the Ravens with no backup linemen. Everybody was hurt. It'll be interesting to see who plays there. I don't expect Brock Purdy to have 4 interceptions again.
They're incapable of turning somebody over 4 times.
No. And, 5 times if you count Darnold through one. So you're liking the over?
Yes.
This might be a I don't do it very often. Only a couple times this year so far, but this might be a teaser game for me. I might tease this and take the 49ers in the over.
Nice.
So tease it down to 6 and 42.5.
Minor note, Brock Purdy was pulled last week because he had a stinger in his shoulder. I don't think that's going to be a lingering issue. I expect him to play. That's where I'm getting my, exuberance for the Niners and their ability to put up points. I expect Brock Purdy to be playing and be somewhere near 100%. If things change, don't take me at face value, please.
Yeah, it did. It looked like he was cleared when he went up to Coach Shanahan there at the game, and he just basically said, "Go ahead, we're going to finish this out with Darnold." Twofold, they were down 2 scores with 4.5 minutes left to go, or whatever it was, and they had nobody blocking for him. So there's no reason to get him hurt again and whatnot. Now, listen, football players have stingers since the beginning of time. Different when you're quarterback, though, and you can't feel a shoulder or your arm or your hand. Now, it is his non-throwing hand that he's gotten a stinger on 2 weeks in a row. He's fallen on it wrong, getting hit on it wrong, but he has not done anything like, sprained AC joint or separated shoulder or anything like that. So I think he should be good to go.
Yeah.
I flirted with the Bears Falcons, and again, I don't know who's showing up on that game. Two teams that have just been Jekyll and Hyde, yo-yoed around all year. I don't know.
So I've said it before. Atlanta is always playing a one-score game. It's just what they do. Not counting last week, because I think they clearly dismantled the Colts. But this line is perfect for the Atlanta Falcons. The three-pointer, because you can push. It can easily push. We've had pushes with the Falcons already this season. It's hard to go one way or the other with both teams. And you gotta account for the Bears head coach, Eberflus, having a confounding decision that costs his team some points. You don't know what to do with either one. Arthur Smith is no better. In fact, Arthur Smith is a lot worse. You never know what you're going to get. To your point. Now, if you just ask me who do I think should win this game, I think the Bears should win this game. I think the Bears have at least the best defensive unit, if anything else. I think they have the most exciting player, the most talented player at Justin Fields, but they had those things last year, and the Falcons beat them in their building. So it can go either way. Yeah, I agree. That's why it's a stay away from me.
I also am staying away from this game. I find it interesting, confounding, and at the end of the day, not something I want to put my money on.
Yeah.
But speaking of games that could be a push, big game in the AFC. Dolphins going to Baltimore. Baltimore Ravens 3-point favorites. Baltimore coming off, they're on a nice win streak, 5-game win streak. But really, last week I thought was their most complete game they've played. They've had some issues this season of giving some away late, of I think playing down to their opponent. But it seems like they're getting geared up at the right time. What's your take on this game?
I had it all the way. I'd say Baltimore is going to go into the Bay Area and serve notice, and they did it in a major way. They went over, they covered that 6 easily, obviously because they won the game, and I'm not coming off that yet. They're going to do it again. They're going to win this game, but most importantly, they're going to go over that 47. Lamar's going to stamp his MVP argument this weekend. He's going to knock out Tyreek Hill and take over that trophy. But I see this game being more of not a shootout because 47 isn't that many points. But I feel very good about the over on that one. Very good.
I do like the over in that one. It's very intriguing. Gotta watch the weather in Baltimore this time of year, but as long as it's not a slop fest, I think it should be an over. And this is a game that I may take a little bit of a hedge, at least a mental hedge, on the Ravens, because I've got Tua and Tyreek Hill sprinkled a little bit on them for the MVP. So I feel like if I take this one, if the Dolphins win and Tua or Tyreek go out there and have a huge day, could swing that tide of the MVP, especially if they go in the AFC as the number 1 seed. So for that reason, I might go ahead and sprinkle a little -3 on the Ravens. Just, a little good karma hedge for me.
Nothing wrong with a hedge. We like them here. Let's see.
Patriots Bills. As long as I don't have to watch it, I'm fine with. Now we're getting to the chunk here where I'm excited. This is where I'm excited.
Well, you're fine with the Patriots Bills. I'm assuming you're taking the Bills to cover the 13.
I mean, if I had to, I would, but I don't want to watch this game.
I don't know. We talking about Jekyll and Hyde. You can title this episode Jekyll and Hyde. Buffalo covering that type of number? I don't know. Against that team, their defense has. They did it against Pittsburgh. They were +6 against Pittsburgh. I think they were +8 last week. The Patriots, I don't want any smoke. I don't want no smoke with that plus 13 for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean it's a big number to give up. I just don't want to watch the game or participate in this in any way, shape, or form. With my money, my eyes, my time, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see, 2 or 3 turnovers by the Bills. I could also see the Bills going out here and win by 28. I have no idea. But I like this Bucs Saints game though. Saints seem like they're falling apart at the seams. The Buccaneers look like they're playing better every week, growing as a team. I think they're playing a little bit better on defense too than I anticipated. -2.5 in Tampa Bay. Give me the Bucs at home to beat the Saints. I'm staying away from the over under 42.5 because I'm not real confident. These teams have been up and down with how much they score. But I think the Bucs are going to win by more than a field goal.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So you're right there. It's New Orleans. They do not have the nothing that was in Jameis Winston's suitcase, and that nothing was they are lacking the nothing. But they are only one game behind Tampa Bay, and if everything goes exactly the way this whole season has for that division, they end this game both tied at 8-8. Just a quick one about these two teams. The Saints are 5-9-1 against the spread so far this season, and it's the opposite for Tampa Bay. They're 9-5-1 against the spread. That was my determining factor when I was looking at this game. Like, you know what? Tampa Bay plays up to that number. So I am fine, all the way fine, taking Tampa Bay to cover that 2.5. It's 2.5 is easy. It's a field goal. And as you said, Tampa Bay's been playing a lot better the last month. Baker's been amazing. They win by a field goal.
My take was the trajectory of one team is up and the other team is down is one thing. And the other thing, they always say home field advantage is worth a field goal, right? Mm-hmm. So that means if they're on a neutral site, you think the Saints are favorite? Nah, I'm taking the Bucs.
I wouldn't. Mm-hmm. We agree there. We agree.
Now, can I get you to ride with me for the first time? One time.
I know where you're going.
The Los Angeles Rams coming out to the East Coast. Now, I get it. A lot of times you don't like to, bet that coming out to the East Coast, but they're playing the Giants. And the Giants are getting 4.5 points, home dog, over under 45. Trusting Stafford, man.
Does this Giants last game against Philadelphia, when they played them real tough, does that say more about the Eagles or does it say more about the Giants?
Listen, division rivalries, I think sometimes the top and bottom can be a little bit closer just because your familiarity with so much of the players and stuff. So I give a little bit to that. And then I feel like the Eagles had just, I don't know. I picked the Eagles to finish third in the division this year. Now I know I'm wrong, but I don't necessarily believe in them the way a lot of people do.
With that said, I kind of believe the Eagles just aren't as good as they used to be. I think the Giants are not good. I agree. I think the Rams should go in there and win they should go in there and win. This 4.5, this hook, it's a little dicey. Do you not agree?
Winning by 10. Keep it pushing.
All right. Winning by 10. You know what? Let's do it. I'm with you. They win by double digits.
Got him on the Rams finally.
Is the veto going to start?
What a day. Tommy Cutlets? I don't know. Who they just they assigned somebody off a practice squad. Who they signed? Matt Barkley.
Okay. Yeah. I might even take that up.
I don't remember. Something happened with Matt Barkley.
Yeah, I didn't know Matt Barkley was still playing football. I'm gonna just go ahead and let's push this up to 13. I got the Rams by 13.
All right, man. I'll tell you, I don't have a whole lot other than that.
I'm also going to take one more of one of your seasoned darlings, and I've been off of them all year. Those Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, I've been off of them the past couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, good because they lost 4. They lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
But they can't make it 5th. They can't make it 5. They break that. They get the monkey off their shoulder right here this weekend, and it's the perfect opponent. They got Carolina,
and they're in Duval.
Yeah, and they're in Duval. They're 6.5 point fave. You know what? A team that's lost 4 games in a row, I cannot take them on the line. I gotta just pick them straight up. Jacksonville wins the game straight up money line. I cannot put a touchdown.
That's gonna be your money line parlay.
Yes, as I was alluding, let's take Jacksonville on the money line. I'm taking Oregon and Georgia, the Bulldogs, to combine a 3-legger.
All right, well, my Cincinnati Bengals went into the Pittsburgh and laid an egg last week. Now they go into Kansas City. 7-point dog. Both these teams look like dogs. But over 44.5. I don't know.
Like that,
man.
huh? I don't know.
I'm gonna pay attention to the weather and think about it. I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah. You think the Bengals were looking ahead to Kansas City? That's why they screwed the pooch against Pittsburgh?
No, I really think what happened was, and if you listen to Running Through the Jungle, kind of told you that the thing we needed to not do is we can't let them get ahead early, can't turn the ball over, and then allow TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith to pin their ears back and come after our quarterback. That's our Achilles heel, if you will. And that's exactly what we did. A bad angle by Dax Hill on a tackle on the second play from scrimmage. And instead of him tackling George Pickens, he takes out the fastest player on the field. It could have ran George Pickens down and DJ Turner. So the rest is history. Then we go down and drive down to get ready to score to even it up. And he was trying to run outside the pocket. In his press conference, he said he was trying to throw it through the back of the end zone. He threw it in the middle of the end zone where there were 4 Steelers and 0 Bengals for an interception. So, 3, again, when you're looking at these teams, and whether it's the Baltimore Ravens or Pittsburgh Steelers or however good the team is, if you start turning the ball over, 3 interceptions and 2 turnovers on downs, or 5 interceptions, however you look at it, when you start getting 4 or 5 turnovers, you're not going to win this league.
Mm-hmm. True.
But I think we can still put up points, and I think we can finally get them right putting up points. So I like the over on that.
Well, I'm going to leave you all alone with that one. I'm a little gun shy as far as that total. It's not the largest total in the world, 44.5. That's what both teams scoring 23. I don't.
No,
but
Kansas City, so there's always an asterisk on the weather. I'm gonna watch it on Saturday and Sunday morning and see where I'm at, and proceed with caution. But as long as the weather's not atrocious there, I'm good to go.
Yeah. I'm gonna pump my brakes. Shout out to Tate and G and OG Shannon. I'm gonna just pump the brakes.
I feel you. Anything else you're looking forward to this weekend?
No, sir. That completes my gambling for the weekend. I need some money to be able to buy drinks come Sunday night.
There it is. Yeah, I'm definitely. That's a separate pot of gold for me. I don't. This is play money. I've always, and I think everybody should do this. Set aside what you're willing to spend or what you're willing to play for the season, and just keep that in your pot. Make sure you pick your unit of whatever you bet. I like to refer to it as almost like a poker chip. Pick your unit to whatever that comfort zone is that you can play for the duration of the year without having to worry about, is your kid going to have a good Christmas? Are the lights staying on? Like, that's not what gambling's about. This is about just having a little fun, trying to win some ducats, and see if you can get enough wins in the season to have a little nest egg at the end of the year. And one of the things I'm right now, at one point in time, I was up 90 units. I'm about 60 units, 58. I think I was up coming into this week. I came back down to earth a little bit. But all that said, I'm doing real good fighting that demon, that chasing the money I've lost and chasing after it. Not chasing it. I'm still making good sound picks. I added last week. When Joel Embiid was announced that he was going to sit against the Heat because of an ankle. The line only moved a half point. I picked up the Heat. Got a little extra ducats there. Feeling good about the week, even though I was 500, 2-2 on Pay Dirt. I hit some things later on in the weekend. So always keep your eyes peeled. Always keep looking for those advantages wherever you can find them. You never know when they're going to pop up. Hey, tell the people where you can find them.
Everyone can find me at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan on YouTube. Also, audio side, we're on Google, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music. Anywhere you get your podcast fix, you can find the Bear Claw and the Shy City Bulletin Board right there. And you can find this episode Thursday on the Bear Claw feed, dropping at noon, just in time for you to drop them play slips in.
Very good, very good. You catch me on Running Through the Jungle, getting ready to record with the fellas right after this show. As a matter of fact, also catch us on the Homies on Friday night. Sounds like we could be going an hour early on Friday because Ohio State plays at 8:00. So we might be a 7:00 Homies, and then everybody that normally comes for the Homies at 8:00 is just gonna catch me and Pay hanging out on the overtime talking trash.
Brown paper bag pay is making a new appearance. You all an hour earlier. You're not gonna let me dry out, huh? All right.
No.
All right.
Nope. Straight through happy hour, buddy. You gotta make it work.
Okay. All right.
Stay hydrated. That's all. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys rocking with us again, especially during this holiday season. Remember what it's all about. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, and enjoy this football. And we will catch you again next week when you hit Pay Dirt.